Ronaldo versus Messi. FIFA's 2026 World Cup bombshell changes everything.
Two names, one tournament, and a question that football has been arguing about for almost 20 years is about to get its final answer, whether the sport is ready for it or not. This has never happened before, not like this, not on this scale. Two players, both pushing 40, both with a World Cup written into the script as the last page of their careers. Both arriving at the same tournament at the same time, on the same continent, with everything still on the table. And if you think this is just another Ronaldo versus Messi debate, dressed up in a new shirt, you have no idea what is actually being set up behind the scenes of this 2026 World Cup. Because the tournament itself has changed. The structure has changed. The math has changed. And the two men at the center of the greatest individual rivalry in the history of team sport are walking into a competition that has been quietly redesigned in a way that benefits them more than anyone in football is willing to admit out loud. Let me take you to the moment that reframed everything. June 2026. Three host nations: the United States, Canada, and Mexico. 48 teams instead of 32. 104 matches instead of 64. A group stage expanded, a knockout round added, and a path to the final that is now, for the first time ever, 8 matches long instead of 7. That is not a small adjustment. That is a structural rewrite of the most important tournament on earth, and it is happening in the exact summer that Cristiano Ronaldo turns 41 and Lionel Messi turns 39. Sit with that for a second. The two greatest goal scorers of the modern era, the two most decorated individual talents football has ever produced, the two players who have between them collected 13 Ballons d'Or, are arriving at a World Cup that has been expanded in a way that, on paper, gives older legs more group stage matches to manage, more rotation windows, and more low-stakes minutes to find rhythm before the knockouts begin. It is almost as if the tournament has been engineered for one last chapter. Now, on the surface, this looks like coincidence. Two icons. One last dance, fairy tale framing. Football loves a fairy tale. But the second you look behind the curtain, the picture completely changes. Because the qualification routes, the seedings, the bracket construction, and the geography of this World Cup are pointing towards something the sport has never witnessed before. A genuine full-stage knockout round collision between Portugal and Argentina, with both men on the pitch at the same time. Start with the results. Argentina arrived into this cycle as reigning world champions, 2022 Qatar, the night in Lusail that finally gave Messi the one trophy his career had refused to hand him. Since that night, Argentina have not played like a team coasting on a memory. They have played like a team that believes the job is unfinished. Lionel Scaloni has kept the spine of that squad intact. The midfield is sharper. The defense is younger. And Messi himself, despite the ML's chapter, despite the age, despite every prediction that he would fade into a ceremonial role, has continued to deliver in qualifiers at a rate that, statistically, has not declined the way anyone expected. Then there is Portugal. Roberto Martinez took the job, inherited a generational squad, and made one decision that defined his entire reign. He kept Cristiano Ronaldo at the center of it, not as a symbol, as the captain, as the focal point. And Ronaldo, in response, has delivered the most prolific international scoring run of any player his age in the modern era. Over 130 international goals. A number that, when you read it carefully, sounds like a typo. It is not a typo. It is the new record, and it keeps moving. Think about that. 130 plus international goals. At 40 years old. In an era where most strikers are retired by 34. And then there's the detail that really tells you how serious this final chapter narrative has become. Both federations, the Portuguese Football Federation and the Argentine Football Association, have built their entire 2025 and 2026 cycle around protecting these two players. Friendlies have been selected, minutes have been managed, travel has been minimized, recovery windows have been protected. When Roberto Martinez was asked directly whether Ronaldo would feature in the 2026 World Cup, he said, and I am quoting him, "Cristiano is a player who decides his own future. As long as he is the best option, he plays." That is not a manager hedging. That is a manager handing the keys to the player. When the man wearing the armband also controls the calendar, the relationship is no longer normal. It is historic. Now, the new format. This is where it gets uncomfortable for the purists. In the old World Cup, you played 3 group games, and the top 2 advanced. Simple, brutal. One bad week and you were on a plane home. In the 2026 World Cup, 48 teams are split into 12 groups of 4, and the top 2 from each group advance, plus the 8 best third-place teams. Read that carefully because it is extraordinary. A team can lose, draw, and still progress. A team can stumble through the group stage and still find itself in the round of 32. For a 40-year-old Ronaldo and a 39-year-old Messi, that is not a minor tweak. That is oxygen. It means a slow start does not end the dream. It means a tired performance in match 1 does not bury the campaign. It means the road to the final, for the first time in tournament history, has a margin for error built into the early rounds that simply did not exist in 2022, in 2018, in 2014, or in any tournament these two have ever played in before. In the entire history of the World Cup, no player has ever appeared in 6 different tournaments. Ronaldo, if he features in 2026, becomes the first. Let that sit. 6 World Cups. From a teenager in Germany 2006 to a 41-year-old captain in North America 2026. No one has done it. Not Pele, not Maradona, not Buffon, not Mathis, who held the previous men's record at 5. Until now. Cristiano Ronaldo is the first. Messi, for his part, would be tying that record at 5, joining a list that includes only the most enduring international careers ever played. And he would be doing it as a reigning world champion, attempting something even rarer than Ronaldo's appearance record. Back-to-back World Cup titles. The last man to win consecutive World Cups as a player was Pele in 1962, and even that came with an asterisk because of injury. No captain has ever lifted the trophy in 2 consecutive tournaments as the talisman of his side. If Messi does it, he ends the debate, not narrows it, ends it. If Ronaldo wins his first after 5 tournaments of falling short, he rewrites his entire international legacy in a single month. Both outcomes are on the table. Both outcomes are statistically plausible. And both outcomes for the first time in football history are sitting inside the same bracket. The problem? The draw is going to be brutal. With 48 teams and expanded knockouts, the path to the final now goes through 8 matches instead of 7. And the seeding system means that as soon as you reach the round of 16, the quality compresses sharply. France, Brazil, England, Spain, Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium, all of them are in this tournament. All of them are loaded. And over the next 6 weeks of qualifying playoffs, intercontinental tiebreakers, and the final draw, the bracket will reveal whether Portugal and Argentina are on a collision course, or on opposite sides of a wall that only the final can break. And here is the line that the algorithm does not want you to think about. There is a non-zero chance that Ronaldo and Messi meet, for the first and last time on a World Cup pitch, in the final itself. July 19th, 2026, MetLife Stadium, New Jersey. The closing match of a tournament that was redesigned, expanded, and reshaped in the exact window of their final years. If a screenwriter pitched this, an editor would send it back for being too on the nose. Let me be fair for a second, because this channel does not deal in fantasy. It is entirely possible that neither man lifts the trophy. Portugal could exit in the quarters the way they have done in 4 of the last 5 tournaments. Argentina could run into a France side hungry for revenge from 2022. Ronaldo could be carrying a knock. Messi could be carrying a hamstring. The new format, for all its cushioning, also lengthens the road, and a longer road is harder on older legs, not easier. The dream scenario is fragile. It always is. But that is exactly what makes it a final chapter instead of a footnote. Because if it happens, it is the single greatest individual rivalry conclusion in the history of team sport. And if it does not happen, it is the most dramatic near miss the game has ever produced. There is no middle ground. There is no version of this where it just quietly fades. Brick by brick by brick, this World Cup has been built into the perfect stage. The expanded format, the 3 host nations, the protected travel schedules, the federation politics, the records lined up, the ages aligned, the squads peaking, the qualification routes opening. Brick after brick after brick after brick. And on top of that wall sit two men who have spent 20 years redefining what an individual can do inside a team sport. When you have spent 2 decades being compared to one person and one person only, you do not get to write the ending alone. The other one writes it with you, whether you want him there or not. So, what do you think? Is this the final chapter the sport has been building towards since 2008? Or are we projecting a fairy tale onto a tournament that is about to chew both of them up the way it chewed up every legend before them? Is 2026 the stage that finally settles the Ronaldo versus Messi debate forever? Or is it the tournament where football quietly turns the page and starts writing about someone else? Drop your verdict in the comments. Tell me who lifts it, who falls short, and who you think walks off that pitch in MetLife Stadium on July 19 with the last word. Subscribe because we are months out from the biggest World Cup ever staged and the storylines are already rewriting themselves week by week. And trust me, this will not be the last one. 2 names. 1 tournament. And the answer is finally coming, whether the sport is ready for it or not. I'll see you in the next one.